And welcome to another episode of South Texas Now. This is your host and attorney Joe Flore. Just remind you to join us each and every week right here on CBS and also the NBC affiliates. And thanks to the Lopez family who always gave us our start. Don Humberto Lozano Lopez, he is passed away in 2011, but he's not forgotten. He's always valued, remembered, and honored. And it's an honor to bring on Laura Allison Ramos. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, I was a little tardy. You know, it's been a rainy day, but at least we've got a view. I was looking over your cards, and I've also been following you on Facebook. And I think I met you when you first got out of law school many years ago. What is your training, experience, background in the law?
Yes, so it was about 12 years ago that we met. I graduated from St. Mary's University School of Law, and I've been a solo practitioner running my own law business here in Corpus Christi, focused mainly on criminal law, civil law, some family, and some immigration.
So you're covering a lot of areas, and some of those areas are going to be covering the district court is going to have everything up to capital murder. So it's a tremendous responsibility. But I've known guys that have gotten up there that, all they did was, probate or something. And then they got up there and learned. So you've done quite a few different areas. Tell me why you wanted to run for judge and why now?
It's something that I've always wanted to do. I went to law school after having a degree in criminal justice here at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and my family is involved in the law. My uncle is Terry Shamsey. My aunt is Judge Hassett, who is in the 28th District Court presently, and they've introduced me to many great lawyers such as yourself and judges in this community, and so I've loved being around them, and it's just something that I've always wanted to do. Well,
they're giants among the legal community. I want to say that my friend Terry has been my mentor for a quarter century, and I've known your aunt the same time. So, great judge. Everybody really, really, really respects her, and I don't think she ever got an opponent. If she did, I'd throw all my money behind it, But they were great inspirations for you. So, the district court, can you explain a little bit to the audience? Because they'll say, what does it matter? District, JP, county court at law. Can you explain the district court and what you're going to be presiding over?
So the district court is a court of original jurisdiction. About 65, maybe 70% is criminal law cases. It also handles family law, civil law, and also election disputes is part of the jurisdiction of the district court. Oof,
divorces, yeah, right. They say they bring out the best in a criminal and the worst in a divorce case. You know what I mean? Talk to me about your campaign, how things have been going out there, out on the streets, and the voters. What are they saying?
Right. So I'm new to the whole political process. This is my first time running a campaign, so it's been an eye-opening experience. I have loved meeting new people and getting to know members of the community that I had not had the privilege of meeting, so it's been a positive experience, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, you meet all kinds of people, right? And I used to call it the swimming bowl. The fish tank, You go into a big event, right? Okay, old tricks of the trade. I've been doing politics since I was 3, right, with my dad. He was an election judge in Jim Wells County. I'd pass out the ballots and stuff. Anyway, he'd say, when there's a big crowd, right, and you can't shake everyone's hand, so you go wait out at the end when they're all coming out, and then you get them. You know what I mean? But you know, there's all this stuff in politics that people, you know, don't know, and signs, right? Some people make a big deal about signs. Who can put up signs? You got to ask permission. All this good stuff, you know. I mean, so you're doing your own signs and you're putting up everything. Hard work, right?
It is very hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, especially at night. Yeah, I used to do them like at night. We'd do night ops, you know, with, I always helped Judge Joe Benavides. And we'd go and do our night ops, you know. We'd go and put up the signs at night, you know, so anytime. And, you know, so it's a lot of hard work. It is. It really is. Okay, so we kind of talked about politics and stuff. Let's talk about your family and your community where you live. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I have 2 children. I have Luke and Lana. Luke's 9 years old, and my daughter's 5. They both go to Cal Allen. They're playing basketball right now, but each of them, and we live in the Cal Allen Wood River area. Grew up in Annaville. I went to Toloso Midway and graduated in 2004. So
we're Warriors.
We are from that area, and I enjoyed it. I love it out there.
Yeah, it's cool. I like to go out there and go visit my brother. He lives down the street from Wildcat Stadium there, but this is county-wide, just to let the audience know that those people in Bishop, those people in Banquete, Agua Dulce, you know, here in Corpus, Cal Allen, everybody's going to vote. And this is an election year, so generally you have more of a voter turnout, which is not that great. I mean, you know, people come in 12 to 25% maybe, if we're lucky, you know, vote. Now, unfortunately, you know, and I want to put up something up there where you can register to vote, because I think it's important. The other thing is that there has been a lot of issues of voter suppression. You know, you running and being a candidate for the 28th District Court, why did you choose among the many spots to run for District Court and the 28th?
I practice in district court. I also practice in federal district court. My aunt has run the court for 27 years, and she's retired. So I figured that now was my opportunity.
So you didn't want to run against her? That'd be kind of a conflict at like barbecue, right, or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. You guys would be passing out each other's push cards. Look at this one. She looks great, you know. We'll put this one on there, you know. Okay. And I want everybody to remember that, you know, you've got a website, electlauraAllisonRamos.com. And we'll be putting it on there. And then we'll get some good photos, too, from your, you have a Facebook site. What's your Facebook site? I'm getting old in the tooth here. What's your Facebook site?
It is Laura Allison Ramos for 28th District Court Judge.
Okay, all right. Makes it simple, makes it easy. You know, the time goes by, but when I interview somebody, I always tell them, knocking on, 200,000 doors, maybe half of those, if we're lucky, vote. You know, you need to get out and vote. If you don't vote, you don't have a reason to complain. And so we want to make sure that people understand that it's important. So I always ask everybody, why should they vote for you instead of your opponent?
I have the experience in district court, and I have one job, one focus, and one mission, and that is to maintain the honesty and the integrity of the 28th District Court.
Well, that's great. I want to ask you a couple more questions. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, you are watching Laura Allison Ramos. We're going to take a brief break, and then we'll be right back. My name is Joe Flores. I'm a lawyer and a nurse practitioner.
I was raised right here in South Texas and sold newspapers in Alice, Texas. As soon as I could, I started working in the hospital. Helping people has become a lifetime mission. I went to law school to help people even more. I understand medicine and I understand the law, and I will give your case the attention it deserves. Call me.
And we're back after a brief break. You're watching South Texas Now. This is Attorney Joe Flore reminding you to join us every Saturday and Sunday here. And we would like to thank one of our sponsors, which is KTMB Lopez Broadcasting, also on 104.9, and Vasquez Flores Home Health, 361-881-9922. And we also want to thank all the community, everybody who supports us out there. Mission of Mercy, help them out. They are doing a great job out there. And also all the charities that are out there. Right now, we have over 600,000 starving people in this country, and it shouldn't be like that. And we also have people that are undercovered by medical insurance. Now, I'm no bleeding heart by any means, but I do want people to understand and also get educated on these issues. And speaking of, some of these practice issues in the law, I know that you run on a conservative platform. And I've known you for a long time, since you got out of law school. And but despite all that, you did immigration law as part of your practice. And I think this is a great opportunity to educate the left, the right, and then there's the reasonable ones of us, you know what I mean? Sorry. And then, the far right, far left, and immigration is a mess in this country. So I want to take this opportunity to ask you, because you're one of the few people that have done immigration here in this country. Tell me a little bit about your practice and your beliefs about immigration.
So immigration is complex. That's why I've enjoyed practicing it. And it's civil in nature. It's administrative law. And what I do is I try to help these individuals legalize the correct way. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. And that has been the focus of my practice. I help those that wish to apply for naturalization, or if they've been placed into removal proceedings, help them prepare defenses from deportation. And sometimes, the system is broken. I mean, the laws that we have are not. It's not easy to get lawful status here in the United States, and what's happening at the southern border is not something that I approve. I believe that there are so many people that are waiting to adjust status lawfully, that the individuals at the border are taking the time away from the individuals that are trying to do it the correct way, and flooding the system. And it's a real problem that we have here in the United States.
Okay, and who's letting them in? Mexico, right? Other countries too. It's just not America saying, come on down, price is right for immigration, right? So, this recent events that have happened, like the governor here in Texas, not to criticize, our leaders, but I think he was trying to send a message by sending some immigrants up north, like to Chicago and stuff, and they're putting them up in hotels and things. How much of that is true and how much of that is hype, fake news, that everybody's getting $9,000 a month that was up there? What was that all about?
So I think there is some truth to that. I have been to South Texas, and I've looked at those detention centers. There's some makeshift detention centers down there that are flooded with individuals.
Total armpits.
Yes, and it used to be very easy to locate an individual in removal proceedings or someone that was detained in a detention center. Now it's much more difficult to find them. Could take weeks before you find someone that has been detained. And so it is mass number of people that are coming in from other countries. It's not Mexico, it's Honduras, it's Guatemala, it's China, and it's a real problem that we have, and it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed by employing more immigration judges to get these people into removal proceedings and removed if they don't have relief from removal. The majority of them, unfortunately, do not have relief from removal and need to return, and we need that to happen.
Well, when I did it in federal court, it was illegal entry. I was doing those individuals that have come in or have offended and did crimes, committed crimes, and then they would come back in. And, they'd give them, 2-3 years, a nickel in prison, maybe a little bit more if they did something violent. A lot of people don't understand that on the trail, when you're coming over here, it's very dangerous, particularly for women. And you have leaders that there's rape, there's murder, exploitation. And it's a lot more political than people think, But in your case, working with this, mine was totally different. I'd get guys who said, solamente vengo para acá a trabajar como en agricultura, right? And then we'd look at their fingerprints. I only came to do farm work, and they were cartel guys. So that was me. So yours was a lot, maybe a little bit different. From the left, people are saying that families are just being ripped apart. From the right, they're saying, look, these people, it's their own fault. They came in here. Nobody asked them to come over. What's the resolution here?
Harsher immigration consequences for reentry and for frivolous applications. Also, these people are paying a lot of money to get over here. They're paying, upwards of $7,500, $10,000 a person to be transported, and they're coming with their entire families. And that's strengthening these cartels. That's strengthening the drug trade. It's causing problems for the United States as well as for Mexico and the other countries of South America.
Okay, and you bring up an interesting point. Okay, so there's also human trafficking is replacing drugs as one of the most lucrative things. Some people, and I know that there are going to be people out there that don't believe this, but I have experienced it. People were forced to come here or face death and they had their balloon swallowing exercises where they take in drugs, ingest them, and so 2 for the price of 1. You're bringing in a human that's having to pay, and then they're bringing in a kilo of whatever in their abdomen. And this is the real stuff. And then they've got to travel through backwoods, cactus, coyotes, the works. And, you take what you can with you. And there are other groups of people that come in to this country, and they're treated differently because of the politics in their country. Say Cubans are treated different than Haitians. I know that for a fact. And Venezuelans, the Chinese. I've seen them get a pass where Mexicans, it's always been a love-hate relationship. Every 20 years, we need your labor. And then the other 20, we don't need you here. You're out of here, So most of the people that you represented, were they from Latin America, but not just Mexico? Because I've seen those numbers go down. There's less Mexicans entering than other countries, such as?
That is correct. Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, and Border Patrol refers to them as other than Mexico. So OTMs, they're other than Mexican. And the majority of my practice, so I'm a local attorney, so I handle cases of individuals who've lived here many years. So it's been, the majority of my practice has been helping people locally, Mexicans, and then also people that are detained and have relief from removal or cases to present before the Executive Office for Immigration Review.
So when we're looking at immigration, you've touched on it's kind of like I don't know. You'd say harder immigration laws, yet you've advocated for people that to come into this country. How do you resolve it or reconcile that?
It's a difficult issue. I feel that it should be merit-based. They should look at their criminal history, look at their accolades, if they've gone to high school, if they have children, if they're going to pay taxes. It should be more of a merit-based system, and there needs to be a way to evaluate these individuals and see, if they're here to do good or if they're here to cause problems for Americans or to be a danger to society.
So my understanding is not only do you do immigration, but you handle family law as well.
Right. And I handle some divorce cases, some child custody cases here and there. My focus of my practice is mainly criminal law, state and federal.
And in federal, explain to me federal.
So I'm on the Criminal Justice Panel Act, which is a panel that is composed of attorneys that handle these cases pro bono. And to be on that panel, there's certain requirements that must be met, as well as requirement that you sit second chair to a federal public defender and handle 2 cases before you're turned out on your own to handle a wide variety of federal cases, to include alien smuggling, RICO cases, racketeering, drug trafficking, cases of that nature, reentry as well.
I used to leave my wedding ring off. I'd go in there, if it was golf or whoever I was representing, and I had a skull ring. I put the skull ring on, and then it said, "No estás casado?" And I said, "No, hombre, ¿quién me quería casar a mí? Estoy más feo que quién sabe qué," But I never wanted them to know about me, my family, where I lived, anything like that, because very dangerous, and some of them are okay people, some of them are complete sociopaths. There's one guy I had that had killed over 20 people that we knew of as a sicario or as a hitman. You would have never known. He was like a $120, 120 pounder, and you never know that he was somebody who killed for the cartel. So those are hard cases, federal cases. Plus, you have to be very prepared. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I had PTSD from not waking up on time to be in court, because you get fined or your phone goes off, But we've got a few minutes left, and what I wanted to cover was what your goals are in court. God willing, you are elected, and what is one of the goals of running the court? I mean, you're not just going to recycle what your aunt did. You're your own person.
Right.
So, I mean, what is your view of the court and how you would run it?
Right. So I feel that it's very important for the court to run efficiently. I know that there's been a backlog of cases since COVID, and so my main focus would be to get these cases heard timely. And there's people in divorce situations that want to get divorced quickly. To avoid unnecessary delay would be one of my focuses, as well as to make it a place that people feel comfortable. Being in court is a difficult situation. Usually, it's not a pleasant experience. So my hope would be to make it more pleasant for attorneys, for defendants, for victims, and to make it a place that they feel that justice is being done in a fairly and efficient manner.
And as far as trials and things like that, are you seeing more trials or less after COVID?
After COVID, it's picked up. There are more trials that are going on. There's also a push for people to be in court rather than Zoom. I'm open to Zoom, especially in family law cases when attorneys just want to, hash it out in a breakout room. A lot of people are against Zoom, and I'm not one of those judges. I would still advocate for it and have it available to attorneys. But yes, there's been an increase of in-person proceedings since COVID, and hopefully that'll continue.
Well, we've got about a minute left. What would you like to tell the people out there about your campaign and why they should vote for you?
I have the experience. I have the courtroom experience. I've been in the courtroom for 12 years. I'm a solo practitioner. I have my own business, and I've been in business for 12 years. And I'm ready to work on day one.
Well, it's great. Well, you've been listening to a wonderful person that I've known for over a decade and her family. And it's 28th District Court right here. And you can reach, and I want to make sure I get this right, elect LauraAllisonRamos.com. And just people are going to ask, what makes you different than your opponent?
The courtroom experience. Trial experience.
You've done some trials.
Yes.
Plenty. Okay. Good. Well, we want to thank Laura Allison Ramos for stopping by, and we hope she can stop by and do a Spanish one for us too for Telemundo. And remember to vote. And you've been listening to Laura Allison Ramos. Remember, she's got a lot of trial experience, and I would just like to say this personally, that, I don't think probate and real estate, if you've got those types of experience, are going to get you elected for district judge. And her opponent has that. And also, I was hearing that at a meeting. He said, "No offense, judges, but I'm going to be the best judge." Well, you better pack a lunch, buddy. So I just tell it the way it is. And if you want to come on and say your side of the story, you're more than welcome. Yeah, costs money to be on TV, and and you're more than welcome to come on and maybe even a debate with our lovely opponent that's running, that has trial experience, that's been in federal court, that's been in state court, that's done immigration court. And I'm just telling it the way it is. I'm not endorsing anybody. So anyway, this is Joe Flores, and we want to thank you. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday. Thank you, and God bless.
You've been watching South Texas Now, featuring Joe A. Flores from the Flores Law Firm. For questions and comments, please call 361-887-8670 or visit floreslawfirm.com.